Good morning. I'm Matteo Di Gioia from the Di Gioia Martinetti Orthodontic Practice. Today we will address one of the most common situations among patients in Italy, which is having a class 2 bite, where the teeth do not close properly, with the upper teeth protruding in front of the lower ones. This situation can be due to a closure defect caused either by the upper jaw being forward or the lower jaw being backward. 9 times out of 10, statistically speaking, it's the lower jaw that's set back. Today, however, we'll be carefully examining a slightly rarer and more complex case where both significant issues are clearly present. The upper teeth are noticeably protruding and the lower jaw is significantly set back. Today we'll be looking at the specific case of this particular 11-year-old boy. So he is currently in his crucial adolescent years. He is at the very beginning of his significant growth spurt, which is actually the absolute best and most opportune time to effectively address a class 2 malocclusion. When the upper teeth are protruding, you can see all these spaces between them because the teeth are tilted forward along a wider arc than where they should be. So these spaces open up. When studying the case, we collect all this series of data, so photos of the face, x-rays. But why should we correct a class 2 malocclusion? Well, extensive research has clearly shown that class 2 malocclusion is a specific type of bite where, if there is a significant gap of more than 7 millimeters between the upper and lower teeth, it can substantially increase the risk of developing various joint problems. Furthermore, since the upper teeth protrude, they are at a higher risk of impact and avulsion. That is, loss in the event of trauma. In other words, when someone falls, not having the front teeth protected by the chin, they lose them more easily. Moreover, it has been observed that one of the most common causes of bullying is precisely having protruding upper teeth, a bit like a rabbit, because obviously it's something noticeable, and children, teenagers, tend to target the most obvious things. In this 11-year-old patient, E, the dental situation is as follows. There are gaps between the teeth, both in the upper and lower arches, because if the upper teeth are tilted outward, the lower ones also tilt outward in order to cut food, and so by tilting outward, the lower teeth also develop gaps. Then, in terms of bite alignment, the goal, what we should try to achieve, is for the red and green lines to match up. So the green one should move a bit forward and the red one should move a bit backward. This case is particularly striking because it's an extreme case, meaning there is a complete class 2 malocclusion. It couldn't be more wrong than this. So you really need to shift and change the way the teeth fit together, essentially changing the occlusion by a whole tooth. And you can see that when they don't fit together properly, look at the gap there, that dashed red line between the incisors. Obviously on the left side as well, we're at the maximum. It couldn't be more of a full class 2, a complete second class. Obviously in both the upper and lower arches we create all these spaces, and what we need to do, as we've said, is to pull back the teeth of the upper arch. And as you can see, we should make this movement indicated by the red arrows. There are the wisdom teeth here highlighted in yellow as the 8ths, which in this specific case we did not remove because they are still very far from the time when they will erupt. The boy is 11 years old. On average, they come in around 18 or 20. So since they are so high up, they do not impact our ability to move the first and second molars or all the teeth of the upper arch backward. This is the lateral X-ray on which we perform the cephalometric analysis. There is an essential diagnostic measurement that numerically highlights the dental and skeletal discrepancies, meaning what we actually need to do in our specific case. This is a simulation of the treatment we want to perform. What you can see is that the teeth of the upper arch move backward, those of the lower arch move away, the space increases even more, and then with a final little jump, the lower teeth move forward. They gradually move forward until they precisely fit correctly once again against the upper corresponding ones. In a vibrant red hue, you can clearly see some distinct beads which are quite noticeable. We successfully used clear aligners to treat this young male patient with the crucial help of elastics and a small precisely applied bar that is typically affixed to the side teeth. This is what the appliance looks like. You can see there are gray bars on the sides, clear aligners on the front teeth, and on the lower arch you can't see the clear aligners, but you can see that I would wear them during the treatment because these small transparent drops called attachments are glued on. These are used to interact with the aligners and then create in the patient's mouth the movements we saw in the previous simulation. Without the attachments, it's not possible to replicate in the mouth what happens on the computer. From the side view, what do you see? The bar, in this particular instance, is quite short. This specific type of bar is commonly referred to as a short bar. You can clearly observe that on the lower molar there is a small, distinct button. This particular button is specifically designed and utilized to securely attach an elastic band that extends from this very button to the precisely positioned hook on the bar, both on the right side of the mouth and also on the left side. After 8 months of using the bar, elastic and attachments, this is the result. In other words, we've completely changed the bite. You can see that there's no longer a gap between the teeth, between the front incisors and the back teeth. Now they even close, as we say in class 3, meaning they close differently than before, that is more forward compared to the previous situation. At this point, what we still need to do is close the remaining gaps and make sure the back teeth fit together properly. We do this with an additional series of aligners and the continued use of elastics. You can see in the simulation what we achieve, moving the teeth further, closing the spaces, and making sure the teeth in the back arch fit together properly. And then there's a significant and important small step that accurately simulates the precise movements and interactions that occur when the upper and lower teeth come together in their final stable position, specifically after we have completely stopped the active use of the orthodontic elastics that were previously employed. After 18 months of treatment, which is an exceptional time frame in orthodontics, because usually these cases take more than 2 years to address. For example, with fixed braces, I used to finish them in over 2 years, and now with 18 months, a year and a half, it's truly incredible. And this is the initial result and what happens at the end. You can see that all the spaces have been completely closed, so it had restored. Unfortunately, he wasn't exactly a wizard when it came to oral hygiene. You can see that the gums are a bit swollen with this odd appearance. Now, with the hygiene sessions, well, he'll improve. Maybe by meeting some girls. Hopefully his oral hygiene will get better, so these gums will also tend to become less swollen. And in the lateral arch, you can see that the teeth, which were previously completely misaligned by one tooth, now with these aligners, these trays, these elastics, voila, they now fit together perfectly, as they say in first class. How should it be? Textbook. On both the left side, at the beginning here, the bite was off on the right side with a gap between the front incisors. And after the treatment, you can see that there is no longer a gap between the front incisors and the back teeth fit together perfectly. This is the photo of the upper arches with the spaces between the teeth, and then with the spaces obviously closed, those teeth aligned. Initial aesthetic result, so you have a smile that isn't pleasant, neither for him nor perhaps for his parents or classmates who tend to tease a bit. And after 18 months, these are the things that truly change patients' lives. So, having a smile, being happy, and showing it off with confidence allows him to enter the world, to engage in everyday social life with a better mindset. You can see at the beginning, these incisors all sticking out, splayed outward, and after 18 months, voila. He looks like a different person, much more put together. Simply put, in our minds, he even seems more precise, but what we've actually changed is the position of the teeth. So, to sum up, yes, with orthodontic treatment, it's possible to regain self-esteem, reduce the risk of trauma by eliminating the gap between the teeth, and improve the bite by bringing the teeth into the optimal position simply by using aligners and elastics. Obviously, you also need to possess the essential know-how, meaning you truly need to understand how to competently perform these specific types of treatments. Therefore, the most prudent advice is always to consult an experienced orthodontic specialist, as they are likely the dedicated professional who can help you achieve these truly beautiful results. In the meantime, thank you for your kind attention and please continue to follow us. We look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye and have a wonderful day.